Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Donna Just Being Real. My channel is all about dating, love, relationships, and toxic relationship advice channel. And I use trials, I use news stories, different things as teaching tools to help people to date smart and not thirsty. And this is another teaching tool. Okay, so this woman here, just real quick, this woman right here with this lovely baby, she was murdered by this monster here that you see on the screen. Yes, he did. So they in trial. And basically they met online, such and such, or whatever, and they got, had a child, but he was married. So, ladies and gentlemen, stay away from the married people. Stay away from them. It never turns out well. Unfortunately, she's gone, and this angel, this baby, is gone too. All right, so we're going to get into recap. Now, recap of today. Today is day 3. I think it's supposed to be a short trial, maybe about a week and a half, something like this. I'm not quite sure, but we're going to focus on day 3 today. And I'm going to go on day 3, I want to focus more on the body cam footage. So we're going to focus on the body cam, and we're going to go from there. And what you do is make sure you like the video, share the video on your social media. Also, leave some feedback. Tell me what do you think of this whole thing. Tell me, did you hear about it before it went to trial? How do you think the trial is going? I mean, let's talk about, things that could have been prevented, things that could have been done. What do you see that happened in this whole relationship where people's not dating smart and they dating thirsty? We have to call it as it is. And this is the reason why we do this, to help us to learn from it so we won't get in that situation, or as adults who have children could teach our children so they won't be in this situation either. Yeah, we have to do it like that. All right, so let's get into this trial. Like I said, day 3, and I have it on speed 1.25. I usually do it on faster speed. Now on your end, okay, baby, on your end, that's my baby kitten. On your end, if it's too fast, what you do is slow it down. Just hit the setting, you can slow it down. All right, so we're gonna focus on this body cam. Now, I believe this officer came up here because I was hanging out at Carrie Moody's channel, and she was doing the coverage of it today live, so I was so happy to see she was covering it, right? So I was hanging out over there today, but how it works. I was back and forth where they could see everything, but I noticed at the end they had the body cam, and I was like, oh, I want to see that. So I'm kind of watching, with y'all first time, I guess how you say. All right, like I said, hit the like, share your thoughts and opinions in the comment section, and let's get it.
Ricardo Ramirez, Lieutenant Ricardo Ramirez.
Ricardo Ramirez, Laredo Police Department?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right. Lieutenant Ramirez, good afternoon. You've been sworn in, sir?
Yes, sir.
Yeah, come on, have a seat over here, sir, please. Thank you. You may proceed.
I'm sorry, I'm just looking for that map of you. I have it. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Will you please state your full name for the record?
Ricardo Ramirez,
And what is where are you employed?
with the Laredo Police Department,
How long have you been employed?
36 years.
And what is your current rank?
My rank with the Laredo Police Department is a lieutenant,
How long have you been lieutenant?
approximately 20 years.
Now, Lieutenant Ramirez, in April of 2018, what was your assignment?
I was a lieutenant for the Criminal Investigation Division, the Homicide Section.
And you were the lieutenant in charge?
Yes, ma'am.
Do you recall an investigation that was called out for Father McNichol on April 9th, 2018?
Yes, ma'am.
What was the original call that came in?
Okay, the Laredo Police Department Communication section received a call of a body by the rear banks and Bristol and the rear banks.
Okay. And did you make your way out there?
Being head of the CID, Criminal Investigation Division, I did place myself and route the call and called the group of investigators and sergeants from the criminal investigation section to make it to the scene.
Okay. Do you recall approximately what time you made your way out there?
It was approximately 11:30 a.m.
And were you, as a lieutenant, are you in full uniform?
No, it's plainclothes. I'm a CID section, criminal investigation division is the detective section. I was plainclothes in a suit.
And did you make it out there with anyone else, or were you by yourself?
I made out myself in an unmarked unit.
Now I'm going to show you what has been marked as and introduced into evidence as State's Exhibit 97-1. And I'm going to ask you if you can share with the jury where you parked, and if you can step down just so.
Yes, it is, BG. This is a case that a lot of people can learn from. A lot. This is something else. Did you catch the video I sent you? And we got Deb up in the house, creeping through the back door, and blessings to you, girl. Let's get it.
That you can give them an
Or-
You want him to step down?
Yes, John, if you can step down so that he can show the jury.
Lieutenant, take that body mic there with you, and just pin it to your tie at the top there, and then turn on after you put it on your pocket or your, somewhere on your body there. You can keep it in your hands, wherever you want. Make sure and turn it on. It's on.
Lieutenant, when you arrived, will you show the jury where you arrived to, which cab you took?
OMG.
Where you
He
parked?
does, doesn't he, BG?
Parking.
Okay,
Like we annoying
when I
him.
arrived, I went all the way from Bristol, which would be this section. I went down into the riverbanks, and I parked alongside his area.
Okay, so this is, let me see if I can show you this.
That's where the units were.
Okay, so this is State's Exhibit 150. Is this what you recall seeing that day?
Yes, ma'am, I parked right behind the two marked Border Patrol units.
Okay, so off of State's 150, you actually made your way through this area behind those two Border Patrol units?
Yes, ma'am.
And you went, you said, through which street?
I went to Bristol, and there's a gate, so out of the gate, made it down to all the way to the river.
Do you know if you used this trail?
The lease one.
Okay. And then, once you were there, did you move your unit from that area throughout the day?
No, ma'am.
So thereafter, did you walk through this area?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I'm going to ask you, when you arrived, I'm going to call this just as a point of reference. Other witnesses have called it like a little island. When you get to this little area, did you go on to, did you get to see anything?
Okay, when I got to that area, Sergeant Fernando Lozano, which is the sergeant from the investigation division, came up to me and briefed me as far as what was at the scene.
Okay. And this is part of his duties, is to report to what he found?
Yes, I'm higher ranking than him, so he reports to me.
Okay. And so, did you get to see the, when you said he staffed you or he advised you as to what was going on, did you actually see the bodies?
Yeah, we did a walkthrough without disturbing any evidence. We did a walkthrough on what actually we had in hand.
Okay. And now, did you get to see, what exactly did you see? Did you see any police presence?
Oh, there were several investigators there. There were the border patrols. When I arrived, there were some border patrols where the units were at.
Let me show you again. This is actually, this is State's Exhibit 513. And so this would be the little path that you said you took. And you parked back here?
I parked back here, and then there were several officers, border patrol agents right here. I just went by them, greeted them, and met with Sergeant Lozano.
When you got there, was there already crime scene tape?
Yes, the patrol division is the one that gets to the scene, and actually just cordon off the area to preserve the evidence.
Okay. And in addition to seeing the Border Patrol and the Border Patrol units, you said you saw a body?
At the scene, there was a body of a female with upper torso trauma. There was blood all over her. And I was briefed also that there was an infant found in the brushy area. We walked to where the infant was laying face up, full of blood, and then they briefed me out on a stroller, baby stroller, that was discarded to the side in the brush.
Okay. And at that point, where did this investigation initially begin? From what you, if you remember, what the suspects or what they were looking for at the time that you arrived?
At the moment, from what we had, it was just a border patrol agent advising that he found the body of a female at the brushy area. That's all we had. And from there on, we then started doing the investigation, the preliminary investigation. We found the stroller. We had some officers checking the area with the stroller tracks, and the case let off.
Now, the fact that that the bodies were found near the river, did that influence anyhow the investigation?
Oh, well, not really, based on what we had and the way that the baby was dressed and the stroller's condition. I mean, it didn't merit anything that's being from Mexico.
Okay. Now, I'm going to ask you, so did that prompt you to do anything? Did you
Yes.
react to that in any
Yes,
way?
ma'am. At that moment, I requested for officers and investigators to search the general area, either for witnesses or a vehicle that might have been left or abandoned.
Okay. Do you recall who you asked to do this to?
Yes, ma'am. I instructed Sergeant Vicharelli, who was in charge of the jacket section. He has his investigators. They went over, they were searching, and a few minutes later, they called me up and advised me that by Father Magnabo, there was a white Mercedes abandoned in the parking lot.
And do you recall how you received this information? Was it from Vicharelli?
Yes, Sergeant Vicharelli related to me via phone that he had found the vehicle, that it was parked, and he had what he mentioned, the cuartitos, which is the side markers and brake lamps on. You need to believe that that vehicle was there for quite a while.
Objection as to City.
Abstained.
Madam Mayor, Coach?
Vote.
It is to-
Yeah, she does look a little thirsty, doesn't she? Wow, this is kind of long here. I have it on the fastest speed to speed up whatever they're talking about.
That's right. So you had information that the vehicle was found?
That a vehicle was found being a white Mercedes by the Southern Mango, close to one of the Venezuela fields with the lights on.
Okay. Now, at this time, when you received this information, did you receive it over the phone or over the radio?
It was over the phone.
Were you sharing this information with others there?
I was there with Sergeant Lozano. And right after that, when she provided the information, I decided to walk over to Father Magnabo.
Will you show us the pathway that you used to get to Father McEnroe?
Okay, from here,
Can you say that?
from here, I walked the trail all the way up, all the way on to the east, and then I went north on it, all the way to where the baseball field is at, which is a long ways.
Did you walk this by yourself?
As I was walking on the field, I met up with Officer Greg de la Cruz.
Okay.
Officer Greg de la Cruz.
Which field? I'm sorry.
Which-
Which field? Because
On
let me just ask you real quickly. How many fields or baseball fields or sports fields are there in this area that we commonly refer to as Father McNichol?
Okay, Father Magnibo, it's an approximation of 54 acres. It's an open field that has several baseball fields, basketball fields, football fields, kiddie parks. So I would say this was a soccer field. We were walking on the soccer field, that's where we met, and we kept on walking. Like I relayed to him that there was a vehicle part of the baseball field.
Okay.
So as we were walking to the baseball field, I myself noticed that there was a border patrol agent in full uniform walking behind us, a few yards behind us.
Where did you notice him? Where were you?
Right before we get to this one right here. And he started walking. He walked with us all the way to the baseball.
Okay. And once you got to the baseball park, what happened once you got there, if anything?
When we got to the baseball park, he still was behind us, and we just went down a little creek, a dry creek that's here, and we were waved by Sergeant Micharelli where the vehicle was at. As we approached the vehicle, the same border patrol agent was right next to us.
Now, I'm going to show you what has been marked as State's Exhibit 511. Now, is this the baseball field that you were referring
Yes,
to
ma'am.
just a moment ago?
Yes, ma'am. We were walking from this side all the way towards this soccer field. There's a little embankment here that we had to cross, and we can move to where the car was at.
Okay. Now, when you arrived at this car, now let me just ask you, is this the position of the vehicles that were there when you arrived at this parking lot at this time?
When we were right there, yes.
These cars were there?
I don't recall if they were there, but there was a pickup truck, a black pickup truck, which is this one.
Okay, so this is when we're referring to State's
Yes.
Exhibit 511. I'm now going to show you State's Exhibit 512. And this is the video or a photograph of what? What do you recognize?
Yeah, this is the vehicle, the Mercedes, and this is investigator Richard Reyes or Rick Reyes unmarked unit, and this is actually a marked unit with a dash cam filming.
So is this the way the vehicles were positioned when you first walked in or walked to the parking area where the white Mercedes was located?
Yes, ma'am.
Now, I believe that's, now you may go ahead and take a seat. I can ask you the rest of the
Yes.
questions for you.
Yes.
Thank you. Now, when you said you walked, and I asked you about the length of this, what we call the Father McNichol Park or Father McNichol.
Yes, ma'am.
About how long did it take, if you know, for you to travel from the crime scene where the bodies were located to the vehicle, the parking lot where the vehicle was?
Approximately 10 to 13 minutes.
Okay. And do you know when you arrived for State's Exhibit 512, which is where the vehicle was located, who was there when you arrived at that area?
When I arrived next to the vehicle was Sergeant Victor Ricciarelli, which at that time he also mentioned that they had ran the plates on the vehicle and they had a registered owner, which in this case the registered owner was Angelica Hernandez with a local address of 11411 Sierra Gorda Drive.
Okay.
And he mentioned that they had sent some investigators.
Go and answer the question, please.
Oh.
And so there's been previous testimony as to there's already been information as to this. What I'd like to ask you is what happened as you arrived to the parking lot and you're next to this white Mercedes. Please explain who was present there. How many individuals, if you recall, were there?
It was a total of, actually it was 4 individuals. It would be Officer Greg De La Cruz, who was standing on the front tire driver's side door, I'm sorry. I was standing next to both doors. And then the border patrol agent with a full uniform was standing on the back side of the back wheel.
That's my girl creeping through the back door. Yeah, let's be honest around here, ladies and gentlemen. Let's just be honest. Millie said, wow, the poll requires a bit of honesty. I'll admit to tempted, but never went through with it. Let's all be honest now. But I was pretty young and dumb. Gotcha. All right, let's get back to it. And Melanie, have you been following this trial? Have you been following it? Okay, resume. Like I said, ladies and gentlemen, we're really going to focus on the body cam because it's like around the ending of day 3, so we're going to see with the body cam. And I might end up speeding it up too because take it too ever forget to the point. You know what? I am going to speed up. But when the body cam come and go back to 1.25. All right, let's speed it up. We're going to speed up to 1.5, ladies and gentlemen. Like I said, if it's too fast for you, you can always change the setting on your end. All right, let's get it. When we do recaps around here, we usually do them on a faster speed. Let's get it.
So if I,
The back, that's where the car is at.
so now I'm going to refer you to State's Exhibit 512. When you're saying in the back part, this was facing this
That was
direction.
facing east side. The car was parked facing east. The border patrol was standing right to the back wheel.
But the back way.
Yeah, I was standing in between both doors.
Okay, so that part of the car is not in view, but that's where you were standing.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. And this is whose vehicle is this?
That's Investigator Richard Reyes on Martin.
And do you have a radio on that day?
Yes, ma'am.
And was it clear? And was the volume at a level that could be heard?
Yes, ma'am.
And you mentioned there was how many police officers there?
Right there, I mean, there was approximately like 3 marked units and Investigator Reyes.
And when there are, let's say, 3 officers there and they all have their radio on, what effect, if any, does it have on the radio transmission?
Well, actually, it will be, the transmission will be heard, I mean, all throughout the area, and it will be open to whoever's next to you. You'll be able to hear it.
Okay. And was there any other, was there any other officer there? Any other law enforcement there?
Like I said, there was a border patrol agent in full uniform, which at that moment I observed he had an embroidered name tag Burgos.
Okay. And what, if anything, happened at this time?
Yeah, that moment, like I said, since they had a registered owner, one of the officers on the radio advises to go to channel 3. What does it mean? So we won't say it in the general channel 1 channel. Excuse me, sir?
No, that's for you, that's for you.
Okay, the minute that
Let me deal with the objection. Here's the objection. This is the testimony from Sergeant Benavides with regard to his, I'm assuming, maybe not, approach?
I'm going to also show, well, not this evening, but also going to show, because I didn't get a chance to see when the day 1, I finally did see the opening statement of the prosecution. Look at this slime ball. Look at him. I did see the opening statement of the prosecution, but I didn't know on day 1 that the sister was on the stand, her sister. So I want to hear what the sister have to say, but I'm hearing very interesting little bits and pieces, but we're going to do it today, just focus on when the sister was on the stand. Maybe might do it tomorrow. We'll see what happens. I don't know, but we'll see. But we did do the best friend. And my thoughts on this, I want to see a little bit more, but my thoughts on this, ladies, you cannot trap a man with a baby. You're not going to be able to keep him. You can't change him. It's just not going to happen. It's not. Not saying she did, but we just listened to the bits and pieces of it. You already have a child, and this guy's married. It never ends well. And unfortunately, this situation ended with murder. She's gone, and the baby's gone. And the baby didn't ask to be born. The baby was born by a woman that was messing with a married man. And he was a monster. So the child had a monster for a dad, and the mother was messing around with a married man. This is just insane.
Okay, proceed, sorry.
Now, there was a radio transmission that announced something, announced the results of, I believe it was Detective Benavides that went out to the scene,
Yes, ma'am.
to the home.
He went to the registered owner's vehicle home, and he broadcasted over radio, like I said, in Channel 3, for us to go to Channel 3. That's when he broadcasted that he was talking to the owner of the vehicle by the name of Angelica Hernandez, and that she said that she had loaned the vehicle to her sister, Grizelda Hernandez, where she was going to go meet her ex-boyfriend at the Father Magnabow Park. And she said that she was going to meet with a Border Patrol agent by the name of Antonio Burgos.
Now, at that point, you said you were standing by the vehicle,
Yes, ma'am.
correct? And how far was this Border Patrol from you again?
He was an arm's length
Okay.
away from him.
And did you have any communication with him at this point?
Like I said, when they gave the name Burgos, I already had seen his embroidered tag as our Burgos. And I turn and look at him, and I quote what he says. He mentioned to me out loud, that one out there, referring to the deceased, is not my ex. I don't even know who the owner of the car is. I have a lot of exes. And
Now, please explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, at this point, was there several things going on at this point, or was it one conversation, one person talking, or were there several persons talking?
like I mentioned, it was just the three of us. It was Greg de la Cruz, Officer Greg de la Cruz, myself, Mr. Burgos, and Victor Ricciarelli on the opposite side of it.
He was
Sergeant
on,
Ricciarelli, I'm sorry.
Sergeant Ricciarelli was on the opposite side.
On the
of
opposite side,
case?
yes, ma'am.
Okay. And what, if anything, happened after that? Did you hear when Detective Raimundo Garcia responded to that radio transmission?
Not that I recall.
And so, what, if anything, happened after that? What did you observe?
Okay, right after that, Officer Gregorio de la Cruz walks past by me and starts asking questions to Mr. Burgos. And at that moment, Investigator Rick Reyes calls him out. He calls out Mr. Burgos to identify himself. And he took him out to where his truck was at.
Okay. And so, when you said he had asked him to identify himself, how did he ask him to identify himself?
He asked him, what's your name? And he said, Burgos, but I think it's Ronald.
And that was the extent of your participation in this?
Yes, ma'am.
You did not get involved in speaking with Mr. Burgos after
No,
that?
after that, like I said, he was escorted by Officer de la Cruz to where Investigator Rick Reyes' unit was at. And I stayed behind with the vehicle.
Okay. And so, they got closer to this black,
Yes.
State's Exhibit 512, the black vehicle.
Yes, ma'am.
I pass the witness, Your Honor.
Any questions? No questions. Thank you. Officer, you are released, sir. You can step down from the witness stand, leave my mic there, and you can go about your business, sir. Thank you. Your next witness, please.
Lizette Castillo. Officer Lizette Castillo.
Officer Castillo, please. Yes, sir. Officer Castillo, come on up. Careful with that cord. You've been already sworn in.
And another reason why I'm so interested here with the sister have to stay in the stand. How did their family feel about her messing around with this man like this? What did they have to say about it? Because if I'm correct, she was living with her mother. Like, who is this man? Who is this man you pregnant by? You know, it's just a lot of questions I'm just curious about. I like to go into the, the back end of everything. It's just, interesting. All right, but we're going to get into that one. Let me not talk too much ahead of time until I see that one. Hear what the sister have to say. Resume.
Correct? Yeah, please have a seat right over here. Get as comfortable as you can. Pull up a chair close to the mic if you can, and we'll get started. Thank you.
May I proceed, Your Honor?
You may, Mr. Johnson.
Can you please state your full name for the record?
Lizette Castillo.
My name is Carlos Garza, and I'll be doing the direct examination for the state. Are you currently employed?
Yes.
And where is that?
City of Laredo Police Department.
And how long have you been with the City of Laredo Police Department?
Over 17 years.
So were you employed with the police department on April 9th, 2018?
Yes.
And were you working on that day?
Yes, it was.
Do you recall an incident at Father Magnabow Park occurring that day?
Yes.
And were you on the scene that day?
Yes.
How did you end up at the scene?
I was dispatched.
And once on the scene, what did you do?
I was securing the entrance to the park.
Okay, and who instructed you to do that?
I believe it was Lieutenant Ramirez or Officer Greg de la Cruz.
And after that, were you instructed to do anything else?
Yes.
And what was that?
I was asked to transport somebody.
And who was that?
That was Mr. Ronald Burgos.
And did you transport him in your unit?
Yes.
And what was the number of that unit?
1168.
Now, did you or a fellow officer eventually place the defendant in that unit?
Yes.
Now, is there a camera capable of recording audio and visual in that unit?
Yes.
And where is that camera located?
We have a dash cam and we have a rear cam.
Rear cam. And was any video recorded of the defendant while he was inside of your unit?
Yes.
And at what point did that camera start recording?
As soon as I was notified I was transporting somebody.
And does that camera automatically start recording, or do you have to manually record it?
Manual recording.
And is it standard procedure to begin recording whenever you're told to do so?
Yes.
Now, Officer Castillo, I'm handing you what's marked as State's Exhibit 80. What is this?
This is a USB of the unit recording
And how do you know this?
because I was able to view it.
So as you said, you have watched this video before?
Yes.
And was this recording prepared on a device capable of making an accurate recording of audio and visual information?
Yes.
Was the operator competent to operate this device?
Yes.
And is the recording an accurate copy of the conversation and statements that took place?
Yes.
And do the images of the event contained in the recording fairly and accurately reflect the event shown in the recording?
Yes.
Has the recording been altered in any manner?
No.
Can you recognize all the voices in the recording?
Yes.
Now, did this video capture some of the exchange you had with the defendant?
Yes.
And when was the recording made?
April 9th, 2018.
Your Honor, I'm now tendering to defense for inspection, State's Exhibit 80. And offered its evidence.
Admitted.
No further questions.
I don't have any questions for the judge.
All right. You are now excused. Thank you very much. Careful on your way down. Your next witness.
State the Hall's Officer Greg de la Cruz.
Officer de la Cruz. Did you get that number? Could you give me that number of that exhibit that came in?
80, Your Honor.
It's
One more time?
State's Exhibit 80, Your Honor.
80?
Yes.
80, thank you.
Yes.
Did you get that? Thank you.
And Your Honor, the video within Exhibit 80 will be 80.1.
Is there only one file in there?
Yes, Your Honor.
Thank you. 80.1, 80. And it's 80 with 80, and it's only one file in there, 80.1 is admitted without objection. Is that correct, Mr. Pena? Is that correct, Mr. Pena? Thank you, sir.
Good afternoon, Judge.
You've already been sworn in?
Yes, sir.
Okay, have a seat right over here. And there's some water here in case you need it. Thank you, sir. You may proceed.
Thank you, Your Honor. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Officer de la Cruz, will you please state your full name for the record?
My name is Gregorio de la Cruz.
And how long have you been employed with LPD?
11 years.
What are the tasks that you, how are you employed, or what are your assignments?
I'm a patrol officer. I'm assigned to the Patrol West.
And what were your assignments back in April of 2018?
I was assigned to Beat 20 with the Frank platoon.
Is that near Father McNamara, or?
That's a site, the next district over,
Okay.
towards the east.
Now, do you recall going out to an investigation on April 9th of 2018?
I do.
And do you recall what the service call was called in as?
Yes, I do.
What was that?
It was a call for assistance by Border Patrol that they found a dead body.
Do you know approximately what time you arrived?
I don't recall.
Which area where did you park your vehicle when you arrived there?
I parked at the intersection of Bristol and Allen.
And and so you walked from Bristol and Allen over to the area where, did you meet other officers there?
So what happened is when I parked there, the ambulance personnel were leaving, and they just directed me to where the scene was.
Okay, now I'm going to direct your attention to State's Exhibit 97.1. And if you can just guide me and tell me where is it that you said you parked?
Bristol and Allen
So here's Bristol.
on the northeast corner.
Here?
Yes, on the northeast, right there,
Right here?
right at the corner. Yes.
Okay, and so from Bristol and Allen, you left your unit there, and where did you go from here?
I walked to the scene. I walked down that trail.
And you knew how to get there? How was it that you knew?
The fire department, they told me, just go, walk down all the way till you get to the Y, and they're going to be there on the left.
Okay, and so you walked over, and what was it that you saw when you arrived there?
I heard the commotion, like I heard people walk, like mingling or talking, and I saw the two Border Patrol vehicles, and I got closer to the scene.
Okay. And approximately, what did you do when you first got there?
So when I get there, the Border Patrol agents are kind of, all the ones that are there, they're kind of roaming freely. So I kind of tell them, hey, we got to condense this crime scene. So everybody get on the island, I would call it, the island that's right there in the middle, and get away from the dirt road so to preserve the scene as much as we could.
Okay, now I'm I'm going to show you. State's Exhibit 513. And if you arrived by these, you saw these 2 units?
Correct.
Okay, so this was the area that you were in?
That's the island, correct.
And did you begin, was it already secured when you got there?
They were working on securing it. The Border Patrol agents, I believe they had given them voluntary statements to start filling out. They were doing that by the trucks, so I told them, hey, let's just stay off the dirt so we don't disturb any of the scene, and let's do it right here by the island that was there, the brushy area.
And so you mentioned how many units were there and how many Border Patrol. How about LPD presence? How much LPD presence was there at this time?
There were several. There was already detectives on scene too.
Okay. And what did you, after you secured the scene or after you asked the BP agents to, I guess, stay behind a certain area, what else did you do, if anything?
At that time, one of the Border Patrol agents, he was wearing a different uniform. He was wearing a life vest, so he was from the boat unit. He ended up telling me later. He's like, hey, there's some tracks that I want you to see, and I showed them to you. And so I told him, yeah, show me. Let's see what you're talking about.
Okay. And so that led you away from this area?
Correct.
And once you left this area, did you do anything, other tasks while you were at this little area where the original scene that you walked up on?
From just seeing the scene and securing it, as directing the Border Patrol agents, not securing it, but directing the Border Patrol agents off of the scene, I was able to see the body. That's the only thing that I saw.
Okay. And then did you make your way over to any other area of the Father McAvoy complex?
Yes, so we did. He went to go show me the tracks that he was talking about. So we made it to the first track, and we followed the track all the way to we couldn't see it anymore.
Okay. And where did this lead you to? Which area? I'm going to show you, I guess, I'll show you the map again. That's State's Exhibit 97.1. And so you were initially in this area,
Correct.
and then
I was wondering when she got murdered, where was the other kid? But I guess at 6, maybe the kid was in school at the time that it happened. But the point that I was trying to make, and like I said, people that see, I guess you all basically know how I operate on this channel. But the people that's watching replay, I'm not here to people just pass through my channel, whatever. I'm not here to bash victims. We're here to learn. We do everything as a teaching tool, okay, to learn from it. Now, when she said, her best friend said, I forgot the exact statement, so don't quote me. I'll just look back in my past video and see what the best friend said on the stand. Like, oh gosh, I'm gonna use my words. Oh gosh, how can I do this to my kids? I did it again. So you knew from the first relationship, whatever happened, that you made a bad choice or whatever, and you suffering from that, and the child is suffering. You went ahead and you repeated again. That's the point I'm trying to say. You're pushing 30. You're living at home with your parents, right? And I was just talking to someone about this, and they was bringing up some great points on this. Was emailing, and it's like, it just doesn't add up. We have to learn. You're supposed to wake up from your mistakes. Okay, you do something, whatever, then you do it again. And this guy was clearly married. He, when you're dating someone, and when a man is really into you, he's going to let people know that you're in a relationship with you. I mean, obviously he wasn't taking her out. Taking her around saying that this is the love of my life and I want to be with. When she was pregnant, his thing was abort the baby. I don't want it. That's a clear sign he doesn't want you. He doesn't want to be bothered with you. But some women feel that, we're going to change him. Maybe because she figured, since he was a Border Patrol police, he got some money, I don't know, or whatever her thoughts was. But now it ended up putting her in a coffin. And the baby. The baby. See, the children is the ones who always suffer from the parents' choices. And I'm not saying she deserved this. Absolutely not. I would never say that. Nobody deserves to die. Only person who can make that call is God. That's not our place to do. But it's just things that we need to do and be alert about to prevent from us getting caught up in certain situations. Date smart, not thirsty. The girl was clearly pushing 30. So whatever this other first baby father, things ain't go right. I guess he ain't put no ring on her finger, made her, give her her last name, whatever, and they living together. Because if I'm correct, she's living with her mother. What does the parents have to say in the house? What were they saying about she's running around out here with some man like that? This is just a mess. It really is. People need to learn from it. Like I said, she's pushing 30. This ain't no 19-year-old girl or 21. When you start reaching like about 27 and up and 25 and up, I'm like, wait a minute, now you got a little bit of experience. Especially if you already been through it. I'm just saying, just sharing my thoughts and opinions. Anybody want to, share your thoughts with it? Just don't be combative and don't be argumentative, disrespectful. I don't mind listening to other people's thoughts. Just the way respect mine and I respect yours. That's all I ask for. Let's get back to it.
You, and this, you said boat, like boat, Border Patrol agent?
He was. I would call him on my report. I call him a boat guy. He was from the boat unit.
And
I'm sorry, Dad. I went into a tangent about something else. I meant to address what you said. Yes, I believe that the other one was 6 at the time, right? So 6 years old. Now, this 6-year-old does not have a mommy. Because your mommy was messing around with a married man, had the child, and this what happens. And he flipped out because she wanted child support. Well, she has all right to ask for child support. You have a child that it takes 2 to make a baby. I mean, sir, if you didn't want no baby with her, that wasn't your thing. You didn't want that because you already had a wife with kids. Well, damn it, you keep a condom on. First of all, you shouldn't be cheating. I'm not promoting cheating. You're married. You shouldn't have been out there cheating on your wife like that. Now you destroyed your wife. She's destroyed. She's embarrassed. The children you have with her, they destroyed because of your silliness. Because you was out here just had to be running around here with this woman. Who else you was probably running around with? Because I doubt she was the only one. There was probably other women too. Disgusting. And that poor child. So where's the 6-year-old child now? Who's probably raising him? Grandma, auntie. We don't know what's up with the father. Or maybe he's gonna step in. Or does she know who the father is? We don't know the whole story. But that poor little angel, the 6-year-old. Let's get back to it.
which area did you go? Did you walk this way?
We actually walked west and north towards the soccer field. Went through that dirt road that's there.
So you went.
Correct.
So you went up this
Correct.
way.
Correct.
There's another little curve.
Yes.
Another little trail.
Yes, it was a dirt path.
Okay. And then where did you end up?
We end up at the soccer fields on that clear area that's right. Yes.
Okay.
We ended up there.
Okay. So then once you're there, do you go back to the scene?
No, did not.
And once you were there, did you meet up with anybody else? Did you have
Yeah.
any contact with anyone else?
Yes, when we were there, Lieutenant Ramirez, he showed up, and that's who I talked to him. I showed him the tracks, the trails where we last saw him. We saw him behind the goalpost.
Mm-hmm.
So I showed him those, and then he's like, "Let's make it to the park." He thinks that they said over the radio that they had already seen somebody or seen a car at the park.
Okay. And so you guys make your way over to where in this area is this? Which way did you go?
We continued north.
Okay.
Correct. And just north of that baseball field that you're at,
Yes.
there's a soccer field just north of it.
This
So we
one?
walked through there
Uh-huh.
down to the car. The car was right there, just west there. There you go.
And so this is, now I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 172. Oh, no, this is right. 511, which is a better view. This is the baseball field, and
That's correct. That's a soccer field.
this is the one that you said you walked through?
Exactly.
Okay. Now, is this the way the vehicles were situated when you walked up to this area, you along with Lieutenant Ramirez?
No, only the white vehicle was there at the time.
Okay. And so did, who, I'm going to show you State's Exhibit 512. Whose vehicle is this?
That's Detective Reyes.
Was he there when you showed up?
He showed up just almost at the same time or a little bit after.
Okay, so explain to me, to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury, what happened when, so you show up here to this area, this parking lot area.
Yes.
You see the Mercedes.
Correct.
Who else was present?
Lieutenant Reyes was there.
Okay.
The Detective Reyes was there.
Mhm.
Lieutenant Ramirez, I'm sorry. Detective Reyes. And there's some other police personnel. I don't recall everybody.
And at this time, there had already been some communications over the radio regarding the vehicle.
Correct.
Okay. And was there anything, any radio communications that prompted you to take action at that scene?
So what happened is that over the radio, the detectives that went to the registered owner's residence, they came over the radio and said that the person that was using that car at the time was supposed to meet a Border Patrol agent at the farther right Noble Park.
Okay.
The transmission that came in was the boyfriend's name was Anthony Burgos.
Okay. And explain to the ladies and gentlemen of the jury the exchanges that happened at that time.
So when Anthony Burgos, when the radio transmission came up for Anthony Burgos, there was only one Border Patrol agent that was at that location with us. I had just seen him. I've never seen this person before. I see him. He's right near the car, and so I wave him over. I say, hey, come here. As he's walking up to us, the name says Burgos. So we look at the name. I'm looking at the name as he's coming over, and I'm just like, hey, well, I think this is the person they just called over the radio. But they said Anthony, and I look at the first name, and it's an R, Burgos. So as I'm looking at him, he has supervisor rank. So I'm looking at him. Hey, is there another Burgos that's here? And he says there was one, but I think he transferred. And that's where we're at there at that point.
Okay. And what was going on while you were having this discussion?
So the detectives that were with the registered owner, they asked Reyes to get on the 21, which means the phone. So they're asking for a phone call so we can transmit exactly what's going on.
Okay, so at that point, when you were having this discussion or this quick exchange with Mr. Burgos, where was Detective Reyes?
He was
More or less.
he was a few feet in front of him. He was probably by the truck,
Okay.
right by his truck.
And so, what was there an exchange between Detective Reyes and you, or Detective Reyes and Mr. Burgos?
So we all knew that his name was Burgos, but he had the R in front. So Detective Reyes tells him, hey, what's your name, man? And he says, Ronald Burgos. And we're looking for Anthony Burgos. And radio transmissions are coming through. And so it's kind of getting a little hectic. Burgos approaches closer to Reyes. I'm walking next to him. I'm the only uniformed officer. So I'm right next to him, and he says, hey, man, what's your name? And then Burgos says, Ronald Burgos-Aviles. He only uses his last names. So then Rick's like, what's your fucking name, dude? Why are you not telling me your name? What's your fucking name? And he says, my name's Ronald Burgos-Aviles. And he says, you're not telling me your name. Do you have an ID or something? And he's like, no, I don't have an ID.
And where were you when this was happening? How far were you from Mr. Burgos?
I was within arm's reach. So as actually it's happening, Burgos, he reaches down towards his belt. He's actually wearing a gun, which is why we're in high alert. So he reaches down towards his gun, and I just grab his arm, and I tell him, hey, dude, just calm down. So as I push his arm, he's like, hey, I don't want any problems. And he looks at me. I'm the only one with the gun that he can see. So he says, hey, I don't want problems. He puts his hands up just like this, and then he puts his hands like this, like he's emotioning, I'm going to take off my gun for you. Like he's giving us the presence that he's going to take off his gun. He doesn't want to be a threat. So he reaches down, he unbuckles his belt, his duty belt, and at this point, I'm already grabbing it from the back just in case something happens. So as I'm grabbing it, he drops his belt, and it just falls to my hand, and I just grab it and I pull it off of him.
And so, I guess the weight of the belt, that's why it fell into your hand.
It just fell into my hand. I was already grabbing it, but I just had control of it, so I just pulled it right off.
Okay. And what did you do with this belt?
So the belt, I actually secured it. I put it in the back of Detective Reyes' vehicle.
Okay. And did you at that point, at any point, did you ask for a unit to be brought over?
Yes.
Okay.
As time went on, I asked for another unit to make it out.
Who was the driver of that unit?
Officer Lizette Castillo.
And when you had him there, the unit was not there when this initially happened?
Correct. It was not.
Did you or did Detective Reyes secure?
All right, what BG says here? Excuse me. The sister felt something because she testified that she told the young lady that meeting up was a bad idea. So sis was giving you a heads up? But she did not go with her. He was mad about the child support. It was that child support that triggered him, wasn't it? Well, first it was that child support that triggered him. And the sister knew. Because some men is not that easy about the child support. They don't like that. They can't stand it. Well, darn it, keep a condom on. They don't want to pay child support. And it triggered him. Because first of all, he didn't want her. He didn't like her. He didn't like the baby. All he liked from her was the sex. All that kinky crazy stuff. He probably had her doing all kind of crazy stuff. Yeah, I said it. And she doing it because she figured, oh, if I do this, that will make him happy. And he'll see that I love him and I care about him. No. Can't keep a man with sex. You can't. These are all my thoughts and opinions. So nobody come at me in the comment section. It's my thoughts and opinions. I'm just sharing it. We have to learn from it. Let's call it as it is. All right? I gotta watch that with the sister. Interesting. Wow. All right. And what did you say? I hate him. Oh yeah, I can't stand him. And there's a lot of dudes like him. Yeah, he think he Mr. Cutie. He could do whatever. All right, what else BG says here? Maybe he wouldn't have killed them if someone came along. Yep. that's a witness would have thought differently. Yeah, because when men is acting a little bit, off, a little crazy, you cannot be going to go and see him. You shouldn't be going to see him. If you do, go with somebody in a public place with other people. But I think in her mind, she went out there thinking we might get together, or he sees the baby, he'll change. You can have a baby by a man and he can look at that child and don't care. He looked at that child was like, look, this child was not conceived through love, so I don't want it, I don't care, and I don't like it. Yeah, believe it or not. Not everybody just looks at a baby and they go goo gaga and happy and loves the baby. No, not everybody. It doesn't work like that with some people. Especially when you got the devil in you. All right, what else BG says? How could he, monster? Yeah. But he was just angry, BG. He was angry. He didn't want to pay child support. First of all, he's angry that she had the baby. Now he feels like, oh gosh. And I think they say he wanted to give up his rights and everything. Man talking like that? Oh, he really don't want to be bothered. All right, she should just apply for the child support and keep it as that. And just move on, go to school, and do you. Don't even bother going to see him. And if he decide, because sometimes they'll come back years later when the child gets older, when there's less work. They ain't got to do the pamper change, they ain't got to watch. The child can button up their own coat. They can get dressed and all that. And he'll come around later talking about, oh, I want to have custody. I want to see my child. And you could just say, well, we're going to do supervised custody. Supervised. To see, how things work with the child. A little parenting classes. That's what she could have did. But I think in her mind, she thought she was going to get this man. And it's so sad. And I'm not just faulting her. There's so many women that do this. Come on. Admit it. And now she's in the coffin. And that poor baby. This poor baby. This is the one the baby. This is what I'm talking about, the baby. Because you got a bunch of, rest in peace, beautiful, but, mommy and daddy ain't on the right page. Let's be honest about it. Sad. All right, what else comments? I missed something else. What else we got here? You just gotta call it as it is. I just get annoyed when I be doing these things sometimes. But we have to do it because it's all a teaching tool. All right, and then people come to me, email me in the comments. Oh, you trying to bash the victim? Really? Okay, what did BG say? He's done because now the world knows why he did. Oop, exactly. And they ain't gonna like him in the prison house. I mean, you a cop. You officer, you don't know what they happen in the next prison house? You're done. You're done, son. You're done. All right. And what Melly says. But if the sister thought it was a problem to meet him alone, wouldn't she have notified someone? Anyone? Interesting. We got to watch that sister. We got to watch what the sister have to say. BG speaks for us all. Yeah. BG going in. BG knows. That's my girl right there with this stuff. And we got Frugal in the house. Hello. All right. Did I miss anything else? Will someone please tell me his name? Is it Anthony or not? That's another thing. You messing around with the man who's giving you a fake name. Oh my gosh. The girlfriend had to put her investigation hat on. That's a red flag. Oh gosh, this is crazy. All right, what else we got here? Melanie, I wish she had taken a man with her. Should never went to go see this man alone. He has 4 names, BG. Anthony is there somewhere. If I understand right, he only gave the side girl the Ronald Burgos. I can't pronounce whatever. But wait a minute. I think she gave. I think this monster. Where's the low life monster at? There you go. Mr. Weirdo with the tattoo. See, I got a problem with these tattoos. I'm sorry. I say it all the time. Don't be coming to me in the comment section. Y'all want to do whatever you want to do to your body. But when people got so many tattoos looking like an Etch-a-Sketch, it's sometimes, in some cases, not all, their mind might be a little bit unstable. I'm just saying. Not all cases. Not all. So don't come for me. All right. But yeah. This etch a sketch guy here with these ugly ass tattoos. He told her his name was Anthony. Can't stand him. Low life, didn't want to pay child support. Okay. Greta? I think it's Greta. I think. And her best friend found his house and drove by. That sits funny with me. That's another thing. You have to do the drive-by. Should have never went to see him by himself. Okay, thank you, Melanie. All right, what else BG says? Sad because all of this could have been avoided. Exactly. This is why I do these things. So hopefully we can learn from it. It could all been avoided. All could have been avoided. Frugal said 4 days. Yep. All right. Fact in today's world. You can meet at a police station to confer with the other parent. No questions asked. No finger pointing. Exactly. But when she asked, well, who did she ask? BG, was it the best friend or was her sister when she went to go and see? How did I look? How do I look? When a woman asks another person, how do I look when she going to see a man? That means it's a little bit of flirting, seducing, trying to get his attention. How do I look? You trying to impress, right? You go into a job interview, what would you ask somebody? How do I look? Going on a date, how do I look? Correct? Sad. All right, let's get back to it. Let's get into this body cam. I love me some body cams and interrogations. All right, resume. Oh, like I said, ladies and gentlemen, I'm on speed 1.5. If it's too fast for y'all, you can always slow it down on your side. Hit the setting and slow it down. Let's get it.
Him or check to see if he had any weapons, or what did you do?
Yes. So once I took the belt off, I put it behind his unit, and then I patted him down as the unit approached us. So I patted him down. I located a phone on him and a driver's license in his shirt pocket.
Okay, so, and what did you do with those two items?
I turned over the driver's license to Detective Reyes, and the cell phone I put it with his property that I had already taken, which was his Sam Brown. I put it in the back of his truck.
The back of Detective Reyes' truck?
Correct.
Okay.
I think you might have a point. You said he was planning this for a while. He did not snap. He probably was dreaming about it, dancing around it when she ended up having that baby because he told her to abort it. He didn't want the child. Like hoping she get hit by a truck. You know, that kind of sick stuff. But I think when she asked for that child support, he was like, oh, heck no. I'm getting her. I want them both gone. Yep. I think that's what did it. That child support, that's when he just snapped. He snapped. But he probably was thinking about it, probably was plotting, but he probably was like, oh, I'm not gonna, he didn't do it. But when she wanted child support, and nothing wrong for asking for child support. You have to baby two of y'all, you have to pay yours, so it is what it is. So y'all men out here, you don't want a baby, you don't want to pay child support, well, keep the darn condom on. Or just don't have sex. Resume.
And did you accompany Officer Lizette Castillo to the station?
I did.
And at some point, was Mr. Burgos transported to Laredo Police Department?
Yes.
Okay. Now, while you were there, did Mr. Burgos ask what kind of exchange did you have with him after you secured the driver's license and the phone?
So after that, we put him in the unit, uncuffed. I told him, hey, look, we're going to put you in the unit. We're going to take you to the station, and we'll talk there. As I put him in the unit, he asked me about his kids. He wanted to pick up his kids, or who could pick up his kids. So he was trying to figure out where he was going. And then we sat down in the car, ready to leave, and he told us, hey, can I at least take off my shirt? I want to take off my shirt. It's an embarrassment, man. That's what he said. So I said, okay, yeah, I'll let you take off your shirt. So I got off the unit again. I opened the door for him. He stepped out. He took off his shirt, and he gave it to me.
Okay. And did you leave that shirt with you in the unit, or did you place that in Detective Reyes' vehicle?
No, I actually folded it and I put it in the unit with me.
What's the number? Yeah, at this time, I would like to publish State Exhibit 80, which is the dash cam.
All right.
Okay, body cam. Well said, BG. This story may save another woman and child. We all hate this, but it is a teaching tool. Exactly. This is why I put all this stuff out here. To learn from it. These are true stories, so nobody's making this up. This is why I use these crime stories or use these trials as teaching tools. Because, sometimes you preach stuff, you can make a video and you say to people like blah, blah, blah. They don't listen. But maybe you'll believe what I'm talking about when you see these crime stories. This is a true story. Nobody made this up. This is no acting. This is a real body cam. This is the real lowlife sitting in a police car right there. The one who killed her. Wake up. Wake up. Date smart, not thirsty. Great point. Parents need to talk to their children. Don't talk to them when it already happened. Talk to them before. That middle school comes, start talking to them about relationships. You need to start talking to them. Don't wait to high school when the hormones start kicking in and all they thinking about sex. They're not thinking about nothing. And also set an example. What's going on in your household? Show them. All right, you might have dated somebody who's toxic and you tell you. Oh, let me pause it.
No, this guy. What are you coming here for? We're gonna take you in just right now. You might. We're gonna talk to your supervisor first, and then we'll. What time did you come in today? 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning. Yeah. So what time you get up? We're just gonna talk to your supervisor, and then we'll. Let me talk to him over there. Yeah. Pero for the embarrassment that went through right now, can you please tell me why am I here?
No, yeah, you know why, because I asked you these questions, and then, look, those who come over here to meet her, the VP, your VP, last name Burgos, first name Anthony. I asked you your name. What did you say? Ronald, you didn't mention Anthony.
And he mentioned I'll be getting there.
Okay, I know, but come on, you're VP. You have common sense, So I have to do it, we have to do it, take you in. What kind of family we need to go and talk to?
No, I understand that, but I want.
We're gonna go talk to you right now, that's it.
Don't take me more.
To the police department. Yeah, we just go down to the station and talk to you there.
Oh, yeah.
Let me slow down the body cam. Let me slow this down. We're going to go to 1.25. I want everybody to hear this one because I didn't even quite hear it. 1.25. Matter of fact, I'm going to rewind it just a pinch of the body cam. Alright. Alright, it's on 1.25 and I rewinded a pinch. Let's get it. If I'm correct, how it went was he ended up going home or something. He ended up changing his clothes. So he was able to change clothes, I guess, to another officer uniform, I'm trying to say, if I'm correct. Reason, let me see what BG says. Sister testified that Grizelda asked her, "How do I look exactly?" Oh, so it was the sister who testified. He is a dirty, low-down monster. He could have walked away. Yep. He want to pay that child support. Monster, low life. Reason. Let me read the poll, because sometimes I be forgetting to read the poll, and I apologize for that one. The question is, we have 11 votes, ladies and gentlemen. Have you ever knowingly got in a relationship with a married person? Dun 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 dun. 18% says, I confess, Donna, yes. 55% says, absolutely not. 9% says, I'm currently. Ooh, we got a current one up in here. And 18% said, tempted. I love y'all honesty. Thank you. And if you want to reach out to me, feel free to email me. You find it in the description. Let's get it.
No, with this guy. Why didn't you come in here for? We're gonna take you in just right now. You met the name. Where are you taking me? We're gonna call it. We're gonna talk to your supervisor first, and then we'll. What time did you come in today? 6 in the morning. 6 in the morning? Yeah. What time did you get up? 1400. We're just gonna talk to your supervisor, and then we'll. Hey, let me talk to him over there. Yeah. Bro, for the embarrassment that I'm going through right now, can you please tell me why am I here, bro?
No,
I know
yeah, you know why, because I asked you these questions, and then, look, this girl's supposed to come over here to meet her, the VP, your VP, last name Burgos, first name Anthony. I asked you your name, what did you say? Ronald, you didn't mention Anthony.
I didn't mention I'll be listening here.
Okay, I know, but come on, you're VP.
I understand,
You have common sense, you know.
understand,
So,
but
I have to do it, we have to do it, take care. What kind of time we need, we need to go and talk to you.
No, I understand that, but I won't.
Because we're gonna go talk to you right now, that's it.
You don't take me work?
To the police department. Yeah, you can go down to the station and talk to you there,
Oh, yeah.
okay?
Oh, yeah.
Monday.
Let me call my scoop. Let me call my scoop, maybe, because it's gonna be fucking embarrassing, alright? If it's gonna be embarrassing.
Well, give me his number.
956 764 3851.
764 what?
3851.
What's his name?
Luis Uribe. You can put him on speaker.
Louis what?
Uribe.
Were you writing for yourself or were you writing for somebody?
Probably for myself.
In a truck?
Amen to what Melanie said, and amen to BG. Yep, we make mistakes daily. Yes, we do. It is what it is. So the person they currently, if you want to reach out to me, everything's confidential. That's just it. Just curious. If you like, it's on you. No pressure. You don't have to. Whatever. It's on you. Okay, let's get back to it. A little bit more, ladies and gentlemen. Hang in there. Let's get it. Don't forget to hit the like. And the people that's watching replay, hit the like too. Resume.
Or in the four?
In the truck. Yeah. And that's inside? No.
I'm sorry, brother. 764 351
here.
Look at his arm with the Etch-a-Sketch all over it. I'm sorry, I have to go with it. Can't stand that stuff. Then when you get old, it don't even look right. It looks funny looking. What did Billy say? What is he taking his shirt off out of no judge? Yeah, I think he probably got a phenomenal body.
He's wiping his arms. Looks like he's cleaning something off. Or
Mr. Cocky, Mr. Vain. That's why I know she wasn't the only one. I believe there was other women he was
he
with.
licked his finger.
And another thing I want to add, there's some women out here, they don't want single men. They only want married men. There's some women like that. Some women like that. Oh, what I found out, I think they met online. I was on Carrie Mooney's live stream she does in the daytime. So she was covering it. And I realized I was, watching on Law and Crime. And I see she was covering. I was like, oh, let me watch over there while I was at work. And she said that they met online, I think 2015 or something like that. And she had the baby in, oh gosh, I can't remember the math or whatever. But they met online. Kind of figured that. So he's sitting online, rapping to these women, trying to get with them. While he's married. Probably downstairs in the basement on the computer late night while she sleep. Sick. And if I'm correct, she does the same kind of job. The ex-wife, she does the same kind of job as he does, too. Melly, that's how Melly is. I'm checking out the prosecutor. The prosecutor, he is a cutie pie. Lord have mercy. Prosecute me. Oh, I'm sorry. My bad. Well, the officer on the stand said he took it off. Ooh. Resume. OMG, he does. You're right. But just shorter hair, right? He does look like the guy who played Selena's husband. That was a good movie. Yes, it was. That was so sad how she died from that trifling woman. Shot her in the back like that. Ripping off everything. She was obsessed. You remember that it was a standoff for hours? She was sitting in the car. I'm going to shoot myself. I'm going to kill myself. Do it. No, I don't promote suicide. I'm sorry. Let me just take that back. I'm sorry. But, with that standoff, doing that to that beautiful girl. She was at the peak of her career. She was going to blow up. Do you hear me? She was going to blow up. And she loved her. She respected her. Ripping off like that. All right, Melanie says, back off, girlie. That prosecutor is on my... Oh, ain't he cute, girl? We got to fight for him because he is a cutie. He's keeping me. He's great eye candy. I know the jury think the same thing too, right, Mel? Oh my, haha. You have seen his cowboy boots yet? Oh, he would give me, boy, Torley's, a little run for his money. Oh yeah, he is a cutie pie. He is a cutie. The evil version. All right, let's get back to it.
What was it that was just said? Did you hear that?
Los teléfonos.
Hey, brother, what's your other last name? Your last name, your other one. Aviles. Yes. Yeah, we got him here in the unit already.
Is that you by the door?
I'm the one penning down. That's Officer Lizette Castillo.
Yes. That's it. Right. The one from school. Okay. How is the one that's here with us? He's back here.
Ronald. Remember? Hey. Okay. Okay. Yeah, no. Yep. Going somewhere? How come we want to go to the lady, so she can, ID me or whatever?
Now, had you heard Detective Reyes when he advised him that he was going to the station?
Yes.
Had you heard Detective Reyes say that he was gonna go see some lady?
No.
Sit or? Security. That's why you said it. Huh? Yeah, but that's what you're telling me right now. Only if that was the plan. You mind if I ask him a question? Hey, you feel more? Can you get him real quick? You want to talk to him? You want to talk to him? Because you told me we're going to go to the lady's house, so she can ID me. We're not going to play anymore. The one that she's saying my name and all that stuff. The one that is accusing me. No, nobody's accusing you. Yeah, I mean, if they were accusing me, I wouldn't be here home, man. I mean, I think it's the same job. No. You know what happened, right? Yeah, you know what happened. They went to the station. Exactly. So he said that somebody said my name, right? Yeah. And somebody accused me. No. Not accused. So that's why they put me. Nobody knows. So I want to know if that's where we're going. Are we going to the straight? Yeah. All right. Yeah, we're going to go to the. But just so you know, I'm going to take this off. My shirt. Yes. Or if you want, you can take it off for me. Put it in the front, it makes you feel better. But there's no way in hell. There's no way in hell, man. I'm come up here and give you an embarrassing picture with some dumb shit with my uniform. So, I'm fine with you? Yeah. All right.
Is that you?
That's me taking a shirt. Or he's giving it to me.
Great point, BG. Great point. Resume.
$31?
It was 10, but
10?
yes. Now, Officer, like this is the shirt that you're referring to?
That's correct. That's the shirt he gave me.
And this is the name tag you're referring to?
That's correct.
Which pocket was it that his driver's license was in?
It was on his right pocket.
And this is the driver's license that he said he did not have?
Correct.
Yes, they divorced. And I think she moved away or something like that. But they divorced.
Here is your boyfriend, ex-boyfriend, last name Burgos. Antes, what you guys not talking about? But I'm just exactly. So you both told me, right? Absolutely. So I would think that we would go. No, we don't have to. Okay, right. Like, if you look at your head, see all that? Sit there and get it two-sided. That in the back of his hand, the back of his arm. Can you hear? That's it. That's where we're at. Okay, what? No, I'm straight, man. Just up in my shoes, man.
Do you have the, can you pause it? Do you have, I mean, do you just want to show the ride, or is there going to be any more speaking in there or whatnot?
No, we do want the complete,
I'm sorry, what?
we are asking that the complete video be published.
But there's nothing being said?
But we want the behavior to be seen. There's actions in there. It's,
All right,
Come on, Judge,
Alright.
play it. We like the body cams.
I know. Go ahead.
Look at the etch a sketch murderer. Look at him. He don't have no regrets. He don't have no regrets for what he did. He probably thinking I should have did it sooner. Low life. Nietzsche, you cracking me up. Stop, Nietzsche, stop it. Look at him. Just look at the low life. Look at the low life. They gonna get you in prison. They gonna get you. They gonna get you. You all done. If I could get him to be honest, I would love to interview someone like him. What is he thinking in this moment? Does he realize the game is over, and does his ego says he's too smart to get caught? I'm kind of going for number 2, the ego. He doesn't really look worried. He's kind of laid back. He's like, whatever. Just like in the courtroom, the current day. He will have a very hard time in prison because he killed a baby. A woman and his ease on the eyes. Yep, safety in numbers. That is so true. Safety in numbers. And he's a pretty boy. For jail? Oh, he's done. Don't drop the soap. Is that what they said? Don't drop the soap.
Come on, man. Oh yeah, he could have just told me straight up, man. So don't make me go forward. Embarrassing big ordeal.
Look at him, laid back. This is insane. These nuts are more crazy. They just don't care. He's a true psychopath. He don't care. He's a psychopath. And another thing that's gets me a little creeped out, like I said about the tattoos, too much body piercing, especially in weird areas. I don't know. That's just how I feel. I don't like all the body piercings all over the place. It's like you self-mutilating yourself. I don't know. Just my opinion. All my opinion. That's all. Yeah. Where are the men? Or you're hiding in the bushes? Get on out those darn bushes and speak!
to the lectures, when you arrived to the Laredo Police Department, and did anything happen when you were transporting from the unit into LPD?
Yes, so we parked in the Sally Port. I got off, I was a riding passenger, so I got off the vehicle and I opened the door for him. I tell him to step out. He steps out and he immediately turns around and puts his hands behind his back. And I asked him, "What are you doing, man?" And he's like, "Well, I know the drill, I know the deal." And I was like, "You're not under arrest, or you're just being detained. You just gotta clear your name." That's exactly what I told him.
And so, from where did he go, from the Sally Port, where did he move from there?
I took him to upstairs to the Capers Division interview room, number 2, I believe.
After that, did you have any other communications with him?
I did speak with him. I asked him if he wanted water. I brought him a water. And then he asked me if he could make arrangements for his children to get picked up.
It was minimal, but that was the extent of your conversation.
That was it.
Now, before I pass the witness, I would like to ask or clarify something. Earlier, while you were at the scene, you mentioned that this boat guy directed you to some tracks. Were you talking about stroller tracks or footprints?
So there was a stroller markings. They're all the way down the track, and then there was foot markings also.
Okay, and how many units or how many agents, federal agents or police officers were there at the scene at this time?
There was a lot.
So it's possible that these tracks may have been from any one of those officers?
Correct.
I pass the witness.
Good afternoon, Officer De La Cruz.
Good afternoon, sir. How you doing?
How are you doing? Officer De La Cruz, when you arrived at the crime scene, you were concerned about preserving the integrity of the crime scene, correct?
Correct.
And that was because there were approximately 30 police officers, about 4 Border Patrol agents, and several EMTs at the scene, correct?
There were several people. Correct.
And there was also a helicopter hovering overhead.
I don't recall a helicopter.
You don't recall that? But it's fair to say that the crime scene was fairly chaotic when you arrived?
There was a lot of people. Yes, correct.
Yeah. Now, when Mr. Aviles, Mr. Burgos was questioned about his identity, he cooperated and answered by providing his full name, Ronald Anthony Burgos-Aviles, correct?
No, he did not.
At no point did he give his correct name?
Yes, he did. Later on, he did.
Okay, well, that's what I'm talking about.
Oh, towards the end of our interaction there at the place, he did.
Okay. And he attempted to rest his hands on his gun belt, correct?
Correct.
But you wiped his arm away from his gun belt?
I didn't wipe it. I just maintained his hand up away from his
Okay.
gun.
A little bit earlier, I thought I heard you say that you reached for his gun, but that never really happened, did it?
I said that he reached for his gun. Is that what your question?
Yeah.
No, I did not. I said he put his hand down towards his gun.
Okay, I'm sorry, I misunderstood. You did not interpret that as a threatening gesture, correct?
No, I made sure it didn't get to that point.
Right. So he was generally cooperative when he realized that he was going to be detained, isn't that correct?
He cooperated to an extent.
And at one point, he requested to be allowed to remove his Border Patrol shirt because he was embarrassed for anyone to see a Border Patrol agent being detained in a police car, correct?
Yes, he was really concentrating on that. He wanted to make sure that nobody knew that he was a Border Patrol agent.
And you assisted him in removing his shirt, didn't you?
Well, he took it off. He handed it to me.
You were standing close to him?
I was right there.
You didn't see any blood on his arms or his hands or his shirt or anywhere on him?
The detective pointed it out.
Pointed what out?
That he had some markings. He said, I don't know if you saw it on the video. He says that he tells him, look at his elbow and his hands. Make sure the CSI. He tells me, make sure you tell the CSI that. He's informing me to make sure that I let somebody else know that they could take pictures of that. That was in the video. You could see it.
So you're saying he had blood on his arm?
No. He had some scratch or some kind of marking.
My question, sir, was whether there on him that you saw. That was my question.
That's what the detective pointed out. That's what I'm saying.
He pointed out blood?
He said that he had markings.
Again, sir, my question is, did you see any blood on him?
Just what he pointed out. I didn't see blood. I saw markings.
A marking, okay. So to answer my question, you did not see any blood on Mr. Burgos' arms?
Just the markings that were pointed out by the detective.
Okay, thank you. And when Mr. Burgos is seen wiping his face in the car, that was because he was crying and wiping away the tears. Isn't that correct?
Objection, Your Honor, calls for speculation.
Overruled. Actually, but
Can you ask that one more time?
Yes, you saw the video that was just played, right?
Correct.
And in parts of it, Mr. Burgos is seen wiping his face.
He was wiping his face.
Probably because he was crying, correct?
Objection, Your Honor. It calls for speculation.
Overruled.
I never heard him crying. No, I did not.
Okay. Now, at the point where Mr. Burgos mumbled teléfonos, just a moment earlier, he had requested a telephone so that he could call his supervisor, isn't that correct?
He asked the detective if he could call his supervisor.
And that was right, well, shortly before he is seen and heard whispering teléfono.
He says teléfonos, and it was after, correct?
Okay. I'll pass the witness. Anything else?
Yes, Your Honor. Were you present when Burgos asked that he be taken to the lady or the sister that was to identify?
He was asking me,
He was asking you?
correct?
And was he asking you to take him to which detective?
No, he was asking to see if we could take him to. What I think is he heard that the detectives on scene were talking about the detectives were at the registered owner's residence. So he's hearing that conversation and he's asking, are we taking him over there?
Now, you are familiar with CSI, some processes that are done by CSI?
Correct.
Are you familiar if any swabbings are taken by CSI?
They do take him.
What about nail clippings?
They do take him.
Did you observe Mr. Burgos' behavior in the unit?
I did.
Did you see him doing anything to his nails?
He was biting on his nose.
And when you removed, or when you were behind him at the scene where the Mercedes was, and you said the weight of his utility belt, what is it also called, Sam Brown?
Is it Sam Brown or Duty Belt?
Is that typical for it to fall down when they unsnap that?
No, it's not.
Why not?
So it usually has a retention device, either a belt keeper or Velcro that it stays onto the inner belt.
Were there any bell keepers?
No, there's not.
I have no further questions.
Nothing further.
Officer, thank you, sir.
Thanks, Judge.
We're dismissed and we go back to business.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you. Approach, please. Counsel. So we're not going to start with another witness today, right now, not today. And then tomorrow we have to take on something, and we have to, I'd do it tonight if I could, but I can't because the person is not here yet. They're scheduled to be here tomorrow morning at 9. So as a result of that,
Where the Mercedes was, and you said the weight.
Okay, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end. I wanted to show that body cam of the lowlife. The lowlife, the dusty lowlife. All right, let me go back and to the comment that BG had said. This man had to know. Wait a minute. Make sure everybody can hear me clearly. All right. BG said, oh, where am I at? This man had to know that he could walk away. He could have went back to Puerto Rico or anywhere. Donna is right. He didn't care. No, he didn't care. He was so furious. I believe that child's... Well, first he was furious that she had a baby. And then she was going to keep it. That just took him to a whole nother level. And now the fact that, you know, the child support. Oh, no. This chick, she done went too far. I need to get rid of her. And that child, they just disgust me. And then plus he stuck something in the child. I think they met like a week or two before, and he stuck the child with a needle when she stepped out the car. And after that happened, why did you go back to go and see him by himself? That was weird. You step out the car, leave him with the baby, and the baby you come back, the baby's crying hysterically? I forgot about that. That's another thing that happened. I gotta find out more about that one. That was insane. Are y'all understanding what I'm saying? They met up. She steps out the car, I guess, to go to the store, the corner store, whatever, I'm just saying, to go get something, and come back, the baby's crying hysterically. She goes back home, I think, to her sister, and the pants got a little red spot, like if, you get a needle. And it was black stuff coming out. Then they go to the doctor, then all of a sudden the baby can't even walk. And you went back to go and see him? Alone? And you want to know how you look? I'm just saying. All right, something else be said. It's scared. And what, Grizelda, I don't know, I can't pronounce her name, but her, was thinking, and all the pain and shock. What else BG says? Can you imagine him coming for you and you're thinking it was a friendly meetup? Poor girl. The terror that must have been on her face. But I'm trying to understand, BG. Why did you go and see him after that, the needle? Something happened. I step out and my baby's crying like that with you and you're the only person around? And you know that he didn't want the child? He doesn't want you, doesn't want anything? Red flag. Alright, well, did I miss something else? Let me see. Okay. Mel says something. In the DA sporting a lavender suit and purple tie, something was going on all week in Florida. Alright, what BG says, how is his name Anthony? I think that was the name that he was lying to her with. Lawyer didn't say it. Okay. 12 names. I can't. Puerto Rico wouldn't get him out of child support. That's United States. Well, somewhere. He need to go somewhere if he didn't want to pay. Just pay the darn child support. That's all you have to do. Just pay it. But no. He didn't want to go there. Okay. What else do we have here? B said true, but he could have ran rather than kill. Indeed. Monster, low-life piece of crap. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, that's the end of it tonight. I'll probably do again a recap tomorrow and go from there, or if not, I might just show, because I didn't get a chance to watch. I really want to watch that sister. So I might just focus on the sister. What was that, day 1 of the sister? So I might just focus on her tomorrow. Somebody sticks my baby with a needle, and our next conversation would be with them behind plexiglass. Exactly. Yeah, because I think how the story went, Mel. Okay. They must have met up. I don't think it was too long before she got killed. She probably all excited thinking that he wants to be with her. You know how women get sometimes. And I guess she stepped out the car for a second or whatever it was. And the baby's hysterically crying. She's like, oh, what's going on? Don't know. So I guess the sister might have changed her or noticed something. Like there was like a red dot on the clothes. Like if you get, you get a needle, a little blood. But then also it's like black stuff coming out. So they go to the doctor trying to figure out what's wrong. And the baby couldn't barely walk. I forgot about to say that part. Why'd you go back? Alright, ladies and gentlemen, we're going to end this. Everybody had themselves a blessed night and a safe one. And remember, like I say, date smart, not thirsty. It's just not worth it. It's not worth it. Oh, let me see the poll real quick. Anybody else voted? Last time was 11. Oh, we got 12. So we got an extra vote. Let me just read again. Have you ever knowingly got in a relationship with a married person? 17% says, I confess, Donna, yes. 58% says, absolutely not. And 8% says, I'm currently. 17% says, tempted. All right, ladies and gentlemen, stay tuned for some more of Donna Just Being Real. Thank you for being here. Thank you for engaging and all that good stuff. Night, night. Bye.